At the end of the world, end of the world. At the end of the world, end of the world. At the end of the world, end of the world. At the end of the world, end of the world.
Hello and welcome to Knitting Abroad. It is the 12th episode and I'm welcoming you to an episode with many works in progress. Today I have no finished object to show to you, but I've knitted much on my other works in progress and started more than one new, but yeah, I'm hoping to finish one or two soon, and yeah, so you have to wait for the next episode for finished objects. Another thing I'm going to talk in the end of the episode is the Pure Nature Call, which is a knit-along which is going to start at the end of March. And yeah, that's all for the episode today, I have to announce. If you are interested in following me on the interwebs, you have few possibilities. The first one is Instagram, where you can find me at KnittingAbroad. Then you have Ravelry, where I am Knit Abroad, and there's also the group which we are having our knit along in. The group is called the Knitting Abroad podcast. And there's also a homepage which is called www.knittingabroad.com when you don't have Instagram or don't want to have Instagram, and yeah, there you can find also the show notes, and there is a small calendar inside where you can also see the knit along dates. Yeah, I'm starting with the work in progress which I made the biggest progress on, and it is my swag sweater. This swag sweater am I knitting for the Sternstundenkall from Trujillo. She is hosting this knit along with the swag pullover of Caitlin Hunter, and mine is here. The body is finished. Many ends not woven in. The color looks very more blue here, but it is a petrol turquoise one, and I started with the first sleeve. Yeah, maybe that's the new background. You see it, it's very dark. I love it, and so it's good, but maybe this is the why it is not petrol but dark blue. But I am going to test it next time with the other background, and then you can say to me which you like most. Yeah, the lace pattern I knitted in, the whole pullover is knitted in Mandusana yarn. It's a sock yarn from Mandusana, and it's called Total Blackout. Pacific. It's called Pacific, and this is her logo. Not good, no light. Why? Yeah, this problem that it's going out of focus and taking far too long to come into light again, I have not solved yet. I'm going to call a friend, Sissy's husband, about it, because it is not depending on the background. We shall see. Yeah, back to the pullover. Mandusana yarn, sock yarn, Pacific, and the speckled one is speckled number 3. I'm very proud of the lace. I talked about it, and yeah, I knitted the pullover just in the round and just knitted. I didn't knit the X-cross pattern because I don't know why, because I am able to knit these crossings without a cable needle, but at this pattern I didn't manage to do it. So that was my Zweig sweater. I'm hoping I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of cough lately. Yeah, the Zweig sweater. I'm proud of it because I like the lace pattern, I like the color, I like everything about it. I was at first not liking so much the feeling the yarn had, because it is a merino nylon blend, and I'm used to it that the merino nylon blends are a little bit more squishy when you knit with them. This yarn is it not? But yeah, it's cool. What else to say about this sweater? No, nothing. Next one. Progress. Work in progress. I made much progress on. I'm at halfway through. This is the cushion. This is the cushion. Also this is going to be a cushion from a cushion kit my sister sent to me, my middle sister. This is the label, and yeah, it is a normal merino wool, and it's so cozy, and the pattern is some cables and a noppe. I forget every time to look it up before I'm on the podcast. Again, you will have it here. Or is it this way around? I guess it is this way around. And yeah, I am at the half of the cushion and also at the half of the balls of yarn. They're looking so. Okay, I definitely have to focus the light a little bit more down. Yep, and that's that for the cushion. I can knit one repeat or two when I'm focusing on it, but after 2 repeats I'm just too tired to knit more, and therefore the progress is a lot slower than I would like it to have. I don't know, because the pattern is not really it's not really utmaning heter det på svenska. I definitely have to do something about it. My English is going to slip away and I can't do nothing about it, even if I'm listening to much audiobooks in English. My English is ta-ta-da-ta-da-ta-da, and my Swedish is just rolling over me every time I'm recording the podcast, and I don't know why. Yeah, I hope I manage it the next time better, but yeah. That was the cushion. The cushion is not really complicated. That was the word. The cushion, the pattern is not really complicated, but yeah, I don't know. After 2 repetitions, it's like my brain is just, no, I just want to knit it around. Maybe because I have just time to knit in the evenings, and therefore I'm just tired of the whole day. And yeah, that was a very good next word for knitting around. My sock knitting, which is so bad at the moment, but I have one is finished. There is it. One finished object. Also one half finished object. It is there, my sock. I love how the wool is knitting up, and I love how it's glittering. It is knitted out of my sock blank. The second sock is so tiny, and there's the sock blank. It is so beautiful. I'm so excited when it comes to the red. I'm so looking forward to it. And yeah, that's my sock. Knitting around. I'm knitting those at 2.25 millimeter needles. 2.25 millimeter needles. Also the sock has precisely the size I need it to be. And that's why I have to get used to it. I was used to knit my socks on 2.5 millimeter needles, and therefore, because I knew I'm not knitting so loosely, but I'm knitting too loose for 60 stitches. So therefore I was just casting on 56 mostly, and yeah, that was that. But the socks were not so fitting as I wanted them to be, and then Sissy, as always, she asked me, why don't you knit with 2.25 millimeter needles and just cast on the 60 stitches you have to cast on when you're knitting for 39. And I said, okay, I have no 2.25 millimeter needles. And she said, take mine. I don't like them because they have this, she feels it when she is knitting with that, when you have here the cable. I'm not feeling it. I know what she means, and I'm recognizing the feeling when I want to push the needle back in the knitting. So I know what she means, but it's not disturbing me like her. So I'm very glad that I can use them. And yeah, but because 2.25 millimeter needles, it's so, they're so small, and it's taking me so long time to knit with it, and it's, yeah, maybe that's the thing, because I'm not in time with my box of socks. January socks. January. We have March now. What else did I do? Yeah, the best of all at the moment, which is going to be a great thing to show to you. Living in a girl Sew Sheepy bag, and with my button, and if you can see it, maybe you can see it, there is a little button, and it's called Abisko. Me and my elder sister, we were for vacation in Abisko, which is in Lapland, in the northern Sweden. And we were there to look at the northern lights. We had so bad weather that the whole vacation turned out different than we expected it, but I loved it because I think it was the first, it was the first time I was on vacation with my elder sister, just alone, and I knitted on a shawl out of the yarn she sent me from Iceland. And I'm not sure, I guess I showed you a little bit of my chaotic eyes, but I've rocked it today before I went on the vacation and started again. And now I'm here. It is a triangular shawl and it's increasing on this side. So it's just increasing on one side. And the pattern is, there is no pattern, I'm just knitting it just as it comes in my mind. And I'm using the increase technique KFB. And to change the colors, I started with using the fade technique from the Comfort cardigan, but just now I a little bit slowed that down because the shawl is getting so big in size in this way, in width, that I am not having enough yarn to do the whole fade thing every time I change colors. And yeah, there have you a just normal garter ridges row, then a lace pattern. Light is horrible. And there you have just stripes, pearl, then have you garter ridges, some are a little bit more, also garter ridges and normal stitches, and there I started with a brioche. And it's out of Hespa yarn, from Hespa Iceland. And the coolest thing of the yarn is that you see it is plant dyed while you knit with it. I loved it, but it was really, it was fun when I was sitting on the plane and I was knitting with the blue yarn. And I was knitting with it and knitting with it and knitting with it, and because I had it in my hands and my hands were warm, and because blue is the color which is rubbing off when you have it on your hand. I haven't looked it up which Gudrun is, also which material Gudrun is using for her blue yarn, but if you're knitting it with a while, you have it on your hands, and it doesn't, as you don't see it because I just had it a little bit in hands, but you see that my finger is a little bit blue, and it's just because I wrapped the yarn just now a little bit around my finger to show you that when you're knitting with it and having the yarn at the same place the whole time, you have really a blue stripe around your finger where you have it. That's a thing you have to expect when you're knitting with plant dyed yarn. It rubs off and the nature materials are going to be at your hands as the nature dyes. So why I'm pointing this out, if you never knitted with plant dyed yarn, it may be a little bit of surprise for you, and you're knitting in the summer and you're having a white skirt and you don't look what you do, and maybe you have it also on your fingers, and then blue is everywhere. It's just something that happens when you knit with plant dyed yarn. As I know, this is not going to be every time, as it's going to be less and less and less the more you wash it. And yeah, which brings me to my knit along. I'm going to start a new knit along, and because this knit along means very much to me, since I moved here to Göteborg, Gothenburg in Sweden, I felt nearer to nature, and I was because of the nature you see in the city, and of the big stones you have here in the city everywhere. And now when I was in Lapland also, I just love the nature in Sweden. And I had the idea for the call just now really long, but I wasn't really working it out. Yeah, the call is going to be with plant-dyed yarn or undyed yarn. And I'm very excited because I managed to find some partners. First, I want to speak about my two co-hosts. The first co-host is Anna from the Dunkelgrün podcast. She is going to co-host the podcast, but all the talk and all the group and revelry thing is going to happen in my group here. Again, the group where you are joined. She is a chemist and a dyer in Switzerland, and she's also dyeing with plants, and therefore I wrote to her if she would like to co-host, and she is, yay, she's in. And the second co-host is Mirja. You might have her in mind because she won the Susanne Sommer Knit-along, the summer call we had. And then she's also a dyer, and she's also dyeing with plants. And her yarn do you get in Vienna in Wolle in Wiedehof, and she's also co-hosting the yarn. And if you want to get in contact with her for her yarns, just visit her Instagram account and send her a message. Her Instagram account is Mirjas Hauptsachen, and there you find her. And I'm also very proud because I got some suppliers which are going to supply our knit-along with 5% off of their yarns. And I'm not ranking them, I'm just talking about them as they come in my mind, because I have my knitting in front of me. It's Hespa yarns from Gudrun. I'm not able to pronounce her last name, and I'm so begging for excuse because I'm not good at it. Here is her name, and her shop is Hespa Yarns and Colors of Iceland, and she is supplying our yarn with 5%, our knit-along with 5% of her yarns when you order on Etsy. And then we have Ullcentrum. Ullcentrum is a Swedish yarn company which is dyeing in Öland, and they have much undyed qualities, many undyed qualities, and I'm very glad I'm inserting here a picture. On this picture you can see their undyed colorways, and when you're ordering on their web shop, you can use the coupon code KAL, also for knit-along, and then you get 5% off their undyed yarns. Just for their undyed yarns for the 2-ply qualities. And the last one. And the last one is Hey Mama Wolf yarns. Her name is Jule and she is from Germany, and I'm very grateful that she also joins our knit along with 5% off her plant dyed yarn. So when you order from her in the Etsy shop, you use the coupon code KnittingAbroad19, and the coupon code is valid from 1st of March till 30th of April. And this is fitting quite good because our knit along is going to be from the 20th of March, which is the beginning of spring, which is the beginning of spring, and it's going to last until the beginning of summer, which is the 21st of June. And yeah, it's called Pure Nature because you have to use at least one yarn of undyed and or plant dyed yarn. The other yarns you can use which yarn you like, but in the piece has to be one skein of plant dyed or undyed yarn. So if you like to knit in your favorite colors and then use colorway which is white or so, you can just use some undyed yarn and it's also okay. Yeah, but I was feeling, because I learned to appreciate nature, I was feeling that I want to dip in a little bit more in the plant dyed segment of the yarn dyers. And not only because Mirja is dyeing with plants, but she was a little bit giving me a push in this direction with her wonderful plant dyed yarns. And I'm definitely focusing on knitting a few projects because I want to knit. I'm knitting now the project with Hesper yarn, which I'm liking, and I'm going to knit a hat out of Ullcentrum yarn of two of the light grey and the much darker colorway, which is going to be a colorwork hat. And then I want to knit a shawl out of Mirja's yarn, and I'm hoping to find a colorway that fits from Hey Mama Wolf yarns. And if I do not find a colorway that fits, I'm going to knit two pieces, one with Mirja's yarn and one with a yarn from Hey Mama Wolf. And the very best thing of all is that Hey Mama Wolf is also coming to Edinburgh, as I saw on the webpage, and therefore I can buy my yarn from her there, which is very cool, so I can shake hands, and I'm so excited to meet Julie in person. Yeah, what else to say? There is a little knit along I'm making with my mom. I talked about it at the last episode, and I'm just waiting for her to be at the same point as me. This is the ribbing of my sweater. This is going to be an easy raglan sweater out of little loopy yarn. I'm calling it the Fireplace Raglan because the wool reminds me of a fireplace. And I'm not having enough project bags, and therefore I'm just using this. Yeah, I heard Wild say on her podcast a woman needs 8 project bags. I have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 3 more. Edinburgh project bags. I'm coming, not just for the yarn. Yeah, I marked the raglan stitches. Light, horrible. I have to do something about it. And yeah, now I'm waiting for my mom. and we're going to knit along together. And if you want to join us just in knitting a raglan sweater, which is just knit in a round, you're very welcome. I said that I will open a thread in the Ravelry group. I forgot it. I'm going to do it now, as after recording the episode. And now it was a little bit chaotic, as my chaotic eyes, because I just have talked about the work in progress before. I talked about the knit along, but yeah, that happens. For today is it all what I wanted to share with you. Many works in progress, and yeah, no, I forgot something. It is lying before my nose, and I forgot that I have not shown much on the podcast. Or haven't I? I have last time. Or not? This is the Friends Gomitolo cardigan I'm knitting. It is a cardigan of Lana Grossa Gomitolo yarn. Big ball for a big girl. And it is just the pattern out of the Filati. I'm knitting it. It's the Filati number 218, Filati Gomitolo. I not made much progress, but I guess the yellow was not here the last time I showed it to you. And I think it's really cool. It is knit to the one side, purl to the back side, so it's, because I'm not so good in purling fast, it's going a little bit slow, but it's also really cool for just sitting and knitting without thinking. And that's the most knitting I'm doing because I'm so tired after my job. But not because the job is horrible, it's just I love my job, but yeah, working on a different language than yours, than your mother tongue is exhausting for the brain. And therefore I'm just tired at the most evenings, at all evenings. So I kind of say I have no life. I work, I sing, and I knit. And then I work. And in between I eat. And I knit. Yeah, that's my life, if you were wondering. So, before I start to, how does everyone says, blabber or so, I'm wishing you a very good start in the week, and I'm hoping you have enjoyed the podcast, and if you liked it, then down there are so I hope you liked it, and then you click the button, thumbs up. And if you want to keep updated about the Perinatal call, just come in my Ravelry group and join the planner and everything else there, and the knitting, of course. And you can also subscribe. That is there, I guess. And yeah, I hope you liked the episode. I hope you like the background. Next time it's going to be the other one, and yeah, I hope I can fix the light problem. But it is not because the background is so dark. I tested it. It is because it is canvas and not wall, and that's the problem. But I'm working on it. So, as I said, have a good time and happy knitting. Bye.
I'll be gone for now, but you can still hear the sound of my voice